Hey folks, thanks for joining me today. I'm going to do a little bit of a review on some pieces of terrain that I just picked up. I'll give you a quick glance at the pieces and then I'll kind of go into a little more detail. I picked this up from a company called Anyscale Models. They send this little piece of paper in. It kind of gives you a thank you and then kind of some basic prep directions. They don't provide any actual assembly directions, which on these there's no assembly except for the picnic table, which I'll show you here in a second. But they do talk about how they have photos on their website. And it looks like the stuff that I was looking at anyway, anything that required assembly was fairly simple. These are all resin pieces. I noticed that they have some gray and this cream color and this almost translucent. I'm not 100% certain of why they use different ones, but you know, it is what it is. They do have some neat little texture work. I don't know, I think you can kind of see here, if we can get this to focus, you can see the texture almost like a canvas tint. You can see that on these larger ones as well. One thing to point out, all the pieces are flat on the bottom except for these larger ones, which are hollow. Not that that makes any real difference, but just so you guys know. Here is, I may get Michonne in here, get her to kind of scale. The tents actually don't scale too bad. If you've ever slept in a one-man tent, they're not big. This one maybe could be a little taller, but if you compare like the length of the body, if you ever slept in one of these things, these little ones, you know, these square ones could be just a tad bigger, but they are typically cramped if you've ever slept in them. These are okay as well. They got these little trash bags, which actually I think the translucent makes it kind of hard to see the texture work. I have trouble seeing them in the light, to be honest, but maybe once I kind of get them cleaned up and primed, the detail will pop. You got this little fire pit, and then this stack of crates, little bag, or I'm sorry, they're probably like a sleeping bag roll, perhaps. And again, the scale's not too bad. I don't know that it's perfect, but it's not bad. There's some barrels there. I particularly like this barrel because if you look down inside, it's set up to have a fire in it. You know, a little burn barrel. Maybe something to keep warm in the night. Here's some tables. You know, this is kind of part of their camp set. So you know, if you had a section where your survivors have pitched their camp, and this is where they do all their food prep or storage. Yeah, it's not bad. It's, again, I don't know that the scale is perfect, but you know, it's again, it does what it needs to. It kind of gets the atmosphere across. So the picnic table, as you can see here, comes in these 5 pieces, textured on one side, and then smooth like a lot of the other stuff on the other. But when you assemble it, sorry, I'm getting my hand out of the way. You know, it doesn't look too bad. You know, you can maybe see some of the textures in there. I think they'll definitely, once you get them primed and painted, you'll really see them. But you know, it's not too bad. And again, if you kind of compare it to your miniature, it's about right. You know, I think it's probably one of the closer pieces as far as scale. And if you ever laid across the table, it's about right as well. I picked up these couple, you know, thought this was supposed to be a washer and dryer. It actually looks like maybe a washer or dryer and a mini fridge. And then here's a taller refrigerator. These are a little small. I kind of wish they were a little bigger. I will say though, I do kind of like the detail. They even put detail on the back of them, which I thought was a nice touch. Maybe if they were just a little bit bigger. And then the last one is these trash cans, which these are probably the pieces that I like the look of them, but as far as scale purposes, they probably disappoint me the most. It needs to be just a little taller. I actually went out to mine and it actually kind of comes up here on me, and I'm probably taller than Michonne's character, you know, if I was to kind of look at scale. However, they look okay. I think you get them painted up, you get them in there, you know, it's just part of the thing that adds to the atmosphere. So in that case, I would say all of these do what I paid for them to do, you know, what I bought them for. I'm actually not that picky on scale. I do wish these trash cans were a little bigger, but otherwise, I'm pretty happy with this purchase. I'm not so much trying to promote any scale models, but if you found this useful and it's something you're interested in, this is the website you would go to. And I'm really doing this because I have actually benefited from other people's reviews of products, whether it's miniature games or board games or anything else for that matter. I always found them useful, and so I've never done one, and I wanted to share this one with you because hey, I wanted to give back a little bit, I guess. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them below, and thank you, and have yourself a good day.